And we are live. Welcome to Capital Cosm Live, everybody. Today we have breakout news. Uranium stocks are breaking out into a new one-year high. Yep, URNM, as we can see here, sitting at 40.84, just breaking out of its September 2022 high. Now, I think it's currently sitting a little bit below that September 2022 high, but if we zoom in a bit, we did break through it just a few minutes ago, or just 30 minutes to an hour ago. Now, this is the second hump that we have to get through. This is the next step in our ascension back up to these November 2021 highs. So after that, we're looking at 47.40 if we can fully break out of this 41 level. Now we did hit today, 41, I think 13 was the number. Let me know if you guys can hear me. But we are on the move. Let's look at the intraday. See how this intraday is looking like. Let's do the 1 minute. And yeah. So starting all the way from down here, actually. Yep. So we've got, this is the start of Monday today, starting significantly, well, about a 50-cent move right off the bat at the open. B.Woo says we can hear. Cool. Thanks, man. And just a strong move up to start the day. And I know that, especially if you're a long-term uranium investor, you know how these intraday starts to uranium typically go, right? When we start off really strong like this, what usually happens? Well, we usually tend to correct down. It tends to be a negative, a red day, so to speak. So just keep that in mind. But what we're seeing currently on the intraday, we peaked at around 41.13. And then we've been making our way down to correct back down. We might go all the way down here to kind of back test the start of the day. Sorry, guys. Got to get my coffee in. Uranium powered. But yeah, things are looking good. URNM, the miners, things are off to a hot start. Let's look at URNJ for today so far. Switch over to the lines. And yeah, so oops. Unselect this. So we started URNJ just as strong. Currently up 2.77%. Compare that to URNM. Up 1.92%. That's the thing with these junior mining stocks. They've got a little extra torque compared to the majors. So things are looking quite well on the uranium miner stocks. Also, another thing I want to show you guys. Let's look at the actual metal. Currently at 62.05. So we've been seeing continued movement up in the metals price. URNM still sitting at 40.84 so far on the today. But yeah, guys, just wanted to come online, do a little breakout news session. Day's not over yet, so we've still got a long ways to go, but things are looking good so far. Things are looking good. What do you guys think? Drop me a chat. Do you think that if you think that we're going to close in the red today, type 1 in the chat. If you think we're going to close in the green today, give me a 2. If you think we're just going to be flat on the day, give me a 3. Let me know what you think. Let's look at CCJ, our champion here in the uranium space. Let's do a little candlestick action here. And let's hide this. Okay. So on the daily candlestick, CCJ has continued to grind on up. CCJ has continued to grind on up, but what's interesting is that if you look on the intraday, so let's go to the 1 minute candlesticks for today, CCJ is only up 0.43%. So it's underperforming URNM. It's vastly underperforming URNJ, which is good because that's what we want. The health of the sector is tied to how much willingness there is to participate in these more speculative stocks, in these junior mining stocks. So CCJ in the green today, but not as in the green as the ETFs are. Let's take a look at U.UN. I haven't taken a look at this yet, but let's check out SPUT, how that's doing today. And on the intraday, we opened quite high. So yeah, here's Monday. So everything from here on out is Monday to start. Everything from behind this little square here is Friday. But yeah, we started things out with a big green candlestick. Although, I mean, relatively speaking, it's not huge in terms of absolute terms. But looking at it from a relative perspective to the other candlesticks, we started off strong, and we're currently still up 1.53%. I wonder, does that bring us above NAV yet or no? I'm not quite sure there. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of so what do you guys think of the action here? Does this really mean anything or no? Or no? Do you think we're gonna come back here on URNM and correct, do a little correction, do a little back test, if you will, right? Are we just going to come and test this resistance line? Are we going to pass it? Are we going to pass the test? We passed this test, right? Right? We passed this $38 level here on URNM. Can we pass the $41 level? Mutant Ryef says, SPUT is still at a discount. Yeah. I was just wondering if today's move would take it out of discount territory, although I'm not quite sure. Well, I think we're still at about -3 or something. -3%, that is. Yeah, so this is as of Friday, by the way. This doesn't refresh in real time. So as of Friday, we were at a premium discount to at -3.22%. And so if the price of the uranium metal holds constant, i.e. doesn't move from $62, then we should anticipate a move to premium if we were able to get a 3.2% move in the SPUT price today. We'll see if we hit it. Okay, so it looks like URNM down to $40.67. Okay, so we're continuing to correct back down after a solid opening today. And, you know, we already mentioned this, guys. You know, when you have these big big, strong opens, especially with these uranium stocks, they tend to come crashing back down. So we'll see how things kind of percolate, how things kind of fall into place today. Yeah, so Mutant Riot says Sput has hit 1542 for 6205 to be a slight premium. Right, so Sput is currently at, what are we at today? Well, it says here that it's at 2052. Are you looking at the U.U version? Mutant Riot? Oh, yeah. I think you are. Yeah, so it's 1510 at the moment. So if we can get those 32 cents, so what would that be? Let's do a little math. Okay, so you said 1542. So that's a 32-cent move divided by 15.1. This is what we're currently at right now. So we need another 2.1% move from where we're at now to get to that 15, get to that premium level. I think we can do it. We've had crazier days before. I'm not saying that we will, but we'll see how the rest of the day kind of shakes out. URNJ currently at 2068. Let's look at this from a minute by minute candlestick. And pull in a line. And yeah, so URNG continuing to move up. Doing a little zigging zagging at the moment, but the overall trend is up for URNJ. URNM at 4066 at the moment. We started the broadcast at 4084. So a little bit of movement to the downside, no big deal. No big deal at all. So this is the start of the day here. We shot all the way up from the close, which was at $39.99 on Friday. We opened things up at $40.49 and then moved all the way up to $41.03, and now we're at $40.66. Well, I'll let this run for a little bit. But in the meantime, let's look at some news. This is a tweet from our good friend, John Quakes. If you don't follow John Quakes on X, I highly suggest you do, especially if you are indeed a uranium investor. I mean, he's pretty much I think one person put it like the CNN or the authority, the main authority on uranium news, nuclear news. So if you have an X account, got to follow John Quakes, at Quakes99. Here he says, so from Cantor Fitzgerald, so it says, the spot uranium market is incredibly tight in the event a buyer to show up looking for 1 million pounds. The order probably takes 3 to 4 weeks to fill and gaps the price up $10 a pound. So he is referring to this tweet here from Renaissance Man. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So, Renaissance Man, U308 Renaissance Man, that is. It says, beware, according to Cantor's report of SPUT meetings, the uranium RFPs are coming. 4 to 5 different utilities expected to be looking for 5 million pounds each. Okay, let's do the math. 5 times 4, 20. 5 times 5, 25. 20 to 25 million pounds of demand coming on the market? Interesting. Fascinating. Not a small ask in a market that looks very tight. Price discovery is coming. $62. Let's run that math back. So Sput here is quoting Cantor Fitzgerald. And he says, for a 1 million a pound order, it'll take 3 to 4 weeks and fill and probably take the price up $10 a pound. Okay. So 20, from what I'm getting at here, just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. This guy here, from the Cantor report, he's saying 4 to 5 different utilities are looking for 5 million pounds each. Okay, so that's 20 to 25 million pounds of demand. Quakes here is also quoting the same guy who says a 1 million pounds in demand is equivalent to about a $10 a pound rise in the spot price. So, I mean, this would be an absurd number. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed to even, like, put it out there. Would this be right? 1 million a pound is equivalent to $10 a pound, but then we're looking at 20 million pounds. So you multiply that $10 a pound by 20, and you got $200 a pound, plus the 60 that we already have. Is there something I'm missing, chat? I mean, are we looking at $200 plus uranium? Or no? Like, am I not reading something correctly? Missing any additional context? All right, let's go. Let's actually read what's on here. Let me know if you can see the actual. Can you guys see the post? Me and Ryev says, I'll see my 8,000 shares of SPUT for $200 a pound. Huh. Yeah, well, I've got more shares than just SPUT that would benefit from that $200 a pound uranium. Okay. So it says here, we marketed the Sprott Uranium Trust on Wednesday through Friday of last week alongside the WNA Uranium Nuclear Power Conference in London. The main takeaways from our 30-plus investor meetings. Okay, so here's the first takeaway. The spot uranium market is incredibly tight. In the event a buyer was to show up looking for 1 million pounds, the order probably takes 3 to 4 weeks to fill. Okay, that's what we know. And gaps the price up $10 a pound. Next, number 2. Over the next 2 to 3 months, 4 to 5 different utilities are expected to go out with RFPs for term contracts in the 2025 to 2030 period for 5 million pounds each. Multiple reports, this is number 3, multiple reports that the 2 largest uranium producers are short material and looking to make spot market purchases. Okay. So they're going to be buying from the spot market, which has been, I believe, cleared up by SPUT. I mean, I don't know how where they're going to find all these pounds just laying around. Let's finish up these points here. Okay. Unlike the 06-07 uranium price spike to $137 a pound that was driven by hedge funds, the current rally is being driven by fundamental end users, the utilities. This is a much healthier, sustainable, and broad-based rally. So does that mean that it won't be just a big spike up to the top and nosedive back down? Are we, is this uranium bull market going to be a lot longer and more sustained than the previous bull market? Because this is what we had in well, you can't really see it. UX1 doesn't really cover it, but essentially we had a huge spike up to the top and then a huge crash down. What sounds like we're looking at here is a smoother, or I don't know if it's going to be smooth, but a longer ride to the top. Okay, so Mutant Riot says you need to look. I'll sell my 8,000 shares of spot. Okay, yeah, wouldn't be a bad time to sell. B.Woo, stockpiling not used in European markets. Right, but don't they still have to? I mean, it sounds like they still have to engage the spot market and then move demand that way, don't they? Like it should have some material impact on the price, should it not? Fahad says 100 by the end of 2023. Certainly possible. Certainly possible. We're not that far away. It would take a 50% move in the price of uranium or where we're at today. A little over 50%. Okay. So where were we? Okay. So number 5, we are likely in the 3rd or 4th inning of the current uranium bull market. All right. 3rd or 4th inning. So we're not even halfway done with this stuff, guys. Are you guys gonna be willing and able to hold for that long of a time? I mean, it sounds like we're looking at sometime towards the end of the 2020s, and so we hit a top here. When do you guys anticipate selling? Are you going to sell early and just take your gains, play it safe? And I don't suggest this. Nothing in this video is financial advice, by the way. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence, but or are you and it's not something I would do, but are you going to try and get as much juice out of this bull market as possible? Are you going to try and time the top? I'm not. I'll probably leave quite a bit on the table when I leave, but I think timing the market is a fool's errand. Okay, let's finish this up. Number 6, Sprott Uranium's proposed/planned limited physical redemption feature will be designed to attract producers and utilities to become shareholders of the trust. This means that they can use the redemption feature to take delivery of physical uranium on a limited basis once or twice a year. Sprott expects the limited redemption feature to tighten up its NAV. I'm assuming this is discount to NAV ratio. I think that's what he means. Okay. So, really strong bullish news to start off the week. Where are we at now with URNM? Okay, so we're continuing to move on down. 40.53 at the moment. Let's go back down to the minute. Yep. So we peaked here. And we're continuing to kind of course correct. It looks like we're right about at the same level that we opened the day. So we might have a bounce here. Remember, a ball doesn't bounce until it hits the floor. That's right. Hit that like, folks. Listen to Falconfree here. He says, hit that like. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Like that smash button. If you enjoyed this content, give me a super chat maybe. All right. URNM still up on the day at 1.15%. URNJ up 2.23% on the day. URNJ is the torque in the uranium space. Fahad says, after 100, I'm going to reduce a bit and analyze how the market's doing. I believe it might be a 3 to 6 year bull market. Certainly possible. But from what I'm reading here, I mean, I understand the desire to reduce it, but everyone's situation is different, right? You know, I don't know where like your entry point is, Fahad. You could have bought at the March 2020 lows. You could have bought in 2016. You could have bought in 2018. You could have bought at the highs of November 2021. I don't know. So everyone's entry point is different, which means that everyone's exit is going to be different. So that's one thing I try to kind of highlight is just because I'm or anyone else, kind of gives you like a hot tip on a stock, or if they're telling you they're buying or they're selling, it doesn't really do you any good just because you don't know their risk tolerance, their portfolio allocation strategy. You don't know when they got into the thing. You don't know when they're going to get out. You know, there's plenty of people who say, I'm bullish on XYZ stock. Well, that's great. You know, you can buy it, but they're probably not going to tell you when they offload it. So they might be bullish one day. A few months later, they may have already sold it and you may still be holding on. So it's always important to do your own due diligence. You know, really do the research, gain a conviction. All right, so Fahad says he went heavy in March of 2023. Okay, so I think that was actually the local bottom in the market. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at URNM. Let's go back to the candlesticks. And let's go back to the 1 day candlesticks. So yeah, it sounds like you bought all the way down here. So I mean, you're looking at some pretty good gains, especially in the miners, which are up like 41%. Good job. Let's see if URNJ has any data. Yeah, it actually does. So 41% on URNM, 53% on URNJ. Not bad, my friend. All right, uranium is 80% of 20%. Okay, so portfolio allocation wise, so your portfolio is 80% uranium, 20% oil and gas. I do have, I will say that my largest holdings in my portfolio are energy, primarily uranium, nat gas stocks, oil stocks, and coal stocks. Those are my 4 biggest sectors that I'm in. And then I've got like some precious metals, mining companies and nickel producers and rare earth metal companies and so forth. But those are the remaining minority of my portfolio. All right. URNM. Let's go back to URNM now. Ooh, look at this daily. Okay, so this is the daily candlestick so far. So a reverse hammer pattern. So if we finish off the day looking like this, guys, then we're probably going to go back down. Probability-wise, typically what these hammer candlesticks tell you is if they're upside down, the chances are you're going to have a subsequent down day. If it's the right side up, it looks like something like, let me find one here. Like this one. Like this one here, this red one, then it implies that higher chances of an up day. Right? Same thing here with this one. Up day, up day, up day. Signifies a trend up. So we've got to reverse this reverse hammer candlestick, as it were. All right, Lanko Bear says, I'll be selling a portion when the market becomes euphoric. You can feel it when you should sell. If you are bragging to a spouse or a friend about the gains, that's a good indicator. Yeah, that's true, actually. That's true. When you bring up uranium stocks and your normie friends know exactly what you're talking about, or they don't look at you sideways, then you're probably still in the clear. But once normal people, not us U-holes, are into this thing, then probably time to leave and let them kind of take the last few vestiges of this thing. Just do a little blow off top, let it come back down. If crypto guys come, then sell. Yeah. Although I will say, once those guys come, whatever the value is of URNM or URNJ or any of these ETFs or any of these stocks, I expect them to double. Typically what happens is you have a big, fat blow off top, but it's short lived. But it's really tough to really time when to get out. And the siren's call to want to stay in and see another green day is very alluring, very tempting. So you've got to temper yourself. You've got to be ready for when that happens. Every day you stay in it is it's a risk. Or one thing you could do is let the thing top out and let it crash, and eventually there will be a dead cat bounce. These things don't go all the way down, back down to their 2016 lows immediately. There's going to be a bounce. Let's look at. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you look at, actually, let's just look at uranium. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There is a dead cat bounce. This here was we were moving on up. Boom, Fukushima happens, dropped us back down. But I think the Bitcoin price charts are a better indicator of what I'm trying to say. So like, take for example, let's do weekly. So in 2021, Bitcoin rose up to 69,000, and then you would have crashed all the way down, but then you would have had a bounce at 48,000. That's what I did with Bitcoin, actually. I bought Bitcoin at 9,000, rode all the way up here to damn near 70,000, continued to hold, waited for the dead cat bounce, and then sold around here at 48,000. So I still made out with a 5-bagger, just about. But I could have made out with a 10-bagger. So that's the thing. It's really difficult. All right, guys. Looks like URNM is kind of settling into this 40, 50 range. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Yeah. Actually, looks like it might have bounced off, right? This is the start of the day. Right here. And it looks like we're just bouncing off. Are we about to resume our move up? Or are we going to come crashing down and retest the Friday close, which would take us all the way down to $40 here on URNM? We'll see. Let's look at URNJ. Has it also bounced? And let's go back. Let's look at this from a line perspective. All right, so yes. Let's draw a circle here. This is the open. So URNJ still hasn't corrected back down to the open. But we'll see. We shall see. But yeah. Look at that. Boing. Oh, there it is. Another move up. Continue to move up. 40.61. As I like to say, when these uranium bull markets happen, staring endlessly at your Twitter feed and at your brokerage account and refreshing over and over again. Refreshing your screens is back on the menu, boys. It's like that old line from Lord of the Rings. I forget what it was. I think it says like like the orcs getting ready. I think it was the second movie, and was the battle at the Twin Towers, or the two towers. No, it's 9/11, but the battle of the two towers. And they said, "Hobbit meat is back on the menu, boys." Well, refreshing your screen is back on the menu, boys. Not getting any work done all day is back on the menu, boys. Jean-Marie says, bragging to the spouse of a friend, you mean? Not quite sure what you mean by that, Jean-Marie. But yeah, guys. Oh, by the way, I will be releasing an interview with Patrick Karim later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, so be on the lookout for that. We covered it was pretty much a masterclass on how to, on technical analysis. How to evaluate companies using technical analysis. I highly recommend you check that interview out. Okay, so Jean-Marie said, referring to the Lanko Bear comment. Okay, so Lanko Bear said, if you are bragging to a spouse or a friend about the gains, that's a good indicator. Yeah, that's time to sell. True statement. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Drop a super chat. We'd really appreciate that. So, curious chat. Are you guys all on the? Are you guys all U.S. and Canadians, or do we have any Australians watching the U.S. Open at the moment? I know it's pretty late out in Australia, so really wondering to kind of see how committed the Uranium fan base is. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know. While we're doing that, let's look at the gold price. URNM is at 40.61. How's gold doing? Okay. Oh. Gold is not doing too hot. 1923. And let's change this back to a candlestick view. Okay, well, actually, gold's flat on the day. For some reason, I thought the gold price was a little higher. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a reverse hammer candlestick here on gold. And let's look at this chart from a long-term side of things. All right, well, it looks like we've broken below support in gold. We could backtest it, but not looking good for gold. All right, B.Wu says he is in the U.S. Jean-Marie, how would you hedge your uranium miners long? You know, it's always good to have some spud in the mix. Go along the actual commodity. In my opinion, not financial advice. Primarily because when you buy these miners, they don't cash flow. Sorry about that. Yeah, they don't cash flow. So you're going further off the risk curve. But when you buy the actual commodity through spot, I mean, the move in uranium, the actual metals price, is a lot more definitive than the move in the miners. So I'd say just have some spot. Okay, Falcon Free says, in the U.S., short NASDAQ, Jean-Marie. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Uranium is inherently, it's weird, right? It's kind of like a hybrid between a commodity and a tech stock or tech sector. So shorting the NASDAQ could kind of do that for you. I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys, I really don't like shorting. My portfolio is all long. I don't really dabble with shorts. But yeah, you could do that. Or long TLT. Yeah. Get a guaranteed 5% yield. Why not? And then you'll have some dry powder in case you see some buying opportunities come your way. All right, guys, I think that's it. Like I said, be sure to keep your eyes peeled. Later today, we'll be releasing that Patrick Kareem interview. Today and tomorrow. Part 1 comes out today. Part 2 comes out tomorrow. Lots of really good, juicy insights. Oh, before we leave, let's look at oil. I haven't looked at oil. All right, see what oil's up to. Oil, 87.23, continuing, looking pretty strong, actually. Yeah, so oil's been... I think energy was the best performing sector, from what I've read, in Q3? Or was it Q2? Q2. I think it's Q3. Yeah, since spring. But yeah, I mean, look at oil here. You know, you go all the way back. Looks like it's kind of bottomed out here in spring to summertime, and had a pretty healthy run. 30% move in 52 days. So yeah, things are looking good. We'll continue to monitor this uranium move. URNM still sitting at 40.59. But we've got to close. We've got to close the day and make sure it's not a reverse hammer candlestick. Because if it is a reverse hammer candlestick at the close of today, then it spells trouble. In the near term, at least, not in the long term. We're not going to completely liquidate this entire ETF or market, but it'd be really nice to not close as a reverse hammer candlestick. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to catch that Patrick Kareem interview later today. With that said, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, y'all.